Hello everyone, this is Keith George, and this video will be a quick introduction to the Project Planner available through the Buck Institute for Education, or BIE website. This is where in INST 6213 you will be creating your unit plan. So as you can see, I'm just at www.bie.org for the main website, and I'm going to go to Login. And if you don't already have an account, which I covered in a previous video, you can sign up or you can just sign in. I'm going to use my little pre-filling software to sign into my account. And once you sign in, it will automatically take you back to the home page. But now you can see the login has changed to log out, and I am logged in. So you can go to a couple of places to get to the Project Planner the first time. So if you go to Resources, under Interact, you have a link to the Project Planner. But also, once you have created anything, you can go to My Info, and this section here under My Projects will have all the projects that you have available. I'm going to go to just the Project Planner link just to show you a quick overview of the form. So now I'm in the Project Planner, and of course there's a direct link if you want to bookmark that for later use. And this is the form itself, and this is a fillable form that will save the plan on the BIE website, but you will be able to share it and do some things with it that I'll show you in just a minute. Notice that for almost every block, there is a little help button that when you pop up will give you some additional information and some tips on, for instance, naming your project. You don't want to name it Unit on Weather. You want to name it something much more engaging than that, such as maybe, why does it rain? Now, for duration, you're going to talk about the length of it, and this is in contact hours. So let's say this was a 2-week unit, and so it's going to fall between 10 and 15. The select subject and course. Notice if you click that button, you get a box that you can select. And if we'll stick with the same topic, we'll say science, earth science, and save. Teachers, you're simply going to enter your name. Grade level, you'll select the appropriate grade level. Other subject areas to be included, if any. So for instance, on this one, I'm going to click the box just to see exactly what it's asking me. And this is for interdisciplinary units. You can add additional subject areas that are not the main focus. Significant content, notice that it mentions CCSS or others. And if we click here, it's talking about school or district standards. What we're going to be talking about and doing for this course is this is where you would enter the Alabama Course of Study standards. So the easiest way to do that would be to head over to the ALEX website, grab the standard, and paste them in. Notice that you only have 400 characters. As I start typing, that number goes down. So you will need to focus on a particular standard. Your 21st century competencies, you'll check which ones of those of the 4 C's that are included, and it does have a place for other. Project summary, include the student role, issue, problem, or challenge, the action taken, and purpose beneficiary. Again, clicking on the help gives you some ideas. Here, some things to include. But once again, notice that you do have a limit of just 600 characters here. Your driving question, we have several videos on that, so you should know what your driving question is. Don't get too caught up. Driving question, essential question, those terms are pretty much used interchangeably. Your entry event, what you're going to do to warm up in the lesson. This is, when you're thinking about an individual lesson, this might be what you think of as your bell ringer, but we're of course talking about a unit plan. So this is going to be more the entry event to your unit. Now we get down to products, And again, we can click the help and we get some ideas here. But these are the major student products that are going to be created. Some of them are going to be individual. So this might be, I don't know, you might have each student create a weather map. You might have teams create a weather broadcast where they actually create a news broadcast. Any specifics that you want covered, competencies to be assessed, you can include here. Notice you also have a limit. So this might be, lesson objectives that you want to make sure are covered by these. You just have to be a little brief there. Public audience, experts, audience, product users, students will engage with. This could be, for instance, if their weather maps are going to be posted on the school or class website, you would be a public audience there. If their weather broadcast is going to be shown to the whole student body, through the school as part of the news announcements, you would include it there. Resources needed on-site, people, facilities, things you're going to need, various equipment, including technology, materials, including website resources, community resources, things you're going to need like that. Reflection. Reflection is an incredibly important part, both as an individual team and the whole class. So this is going to be how they're going to reflect on their work. And you can just check which boxes you need. And then you have some room for notes, additional advice, things that need to be ensured to be covered, adaptations, modifications that you could use. All of these would go in there. Now, the only field that is absolutely required is the name of the name of the project. And I just did that enough. I'm not trying to fill this in completely. You will be given some examples of completed project plans. So if I come up and click Save and save my plan, it takes just a minute to save. But then if I go to my projects, you see that I have Why Does It Rain? Now, once it is saved, also notice that the print and share and, of course, delete icons become available now. So let's look at share, because this is something you're certainly going to be using. When I click share, it allows me to come up to email it. But here's the important part. Notice that it also has created a unique URL for your plan. And just to show you, if I copy that and go to a new window and paste that address in, it's going to go to the project planner, but notice it goes directly to my plan, and now it's in read only. This is how you will share your unit with other people, in particular with me, and also how you will include it in Blackboard for me to evaluate, and also how you will include it in your live text portfolio. So it's very important that you notice when you click to share and it goes to the email screen that there is a URL there at the top, that if you select all of that, it is a direct URL. Now you can, of course, fill out the form and let it email it to you or to whoever you're sharing it with. But for this course, you will be including that URL in Blackboard so that your project can be evaluated. Okay, so that is just a brief introduction to the BIE Project Planner on how we will be doing our unit plan. Thanks.